In one episode of American Idol, there was a contestant whose father was an old military veteran, divorced and stuck taking care of his talented daughter. Unfortunately, the judges were not too impressed, but encouraged her to keep going and never give up if singing was truly her passion. The father looked pretty upset and didn't take it lightly, as the contestant did. It was evident prior to her performance that the father was controlling, and it concerned American Idol judge Katy Perry. Her worried reaction was appropriate because if it's anyone who knows conformity and control, it would be Katy Perry. Let me explain. Her real full name was Katie Elizabeth Hudson. She was raised in Southern California with born-again Christian ministers. Secular music was forbidden in the household where she grew up, singing only church hymns and gospel tunes. Her family also struggled financially, relying on food stamps and limited choices of food due to their strict religious upbringing. As a teenager, Katy sought a musical career with a Christian label in 2001, but her debut album sold poorly. Katy eventually found inspiration in artists like Freddie Mercury and Alanis Morissette, both being sort of outcasts in their own right. She was allowed to find new passion in music through new friends and mentors. Katy moved to Los Angeles to pursue success in the secular music realm. Oh, and she eventually adopted her mother's maiden name, Perry, to avoid confusion with the actress Kate Hudson. Katy Perry is now a judge on American Idol, alongside Luke Bryan and Lionel Richie, where all music of various genres are welcome. American Idol is, after all, a singing competition that allows different artists of all walks of life and of all faiths to compete and share their passion for music, a universal human expression regardless of identity or religion. Speaking of humanitarianism, Katy Perry also supported children's education and well-being through philanthropy. In 2014, she teamed up with Staples Incorporated for a project entitled Make Roar Happen, clearly derived from one of her songs, which donated $1 million to support teachers and funds resources in public schools. In 2016, she worked with UNICEF to improve child care quality in Vietnam. She has supported organizations aimed at aiding people suffering with diseases like cancer and AIDS. However, Katy Perry hasn't gone without criticism. She was also famously accused for the way she impersonates accents and using cultural wardrobe. In one performance, she and her dancers spent much of the runtime putting their palms together and bowing, scurrying across the stage, trying to be light on their feet, hiding behind umbrellas and fans. This depiction expressed an dainty, subservient, and shy stereotype of Asian people. It's these kind of stereotypical visuals that play into white fetishization of Asian women, something Perry doesn't have to deal with when she takes off the costume. Fans who defend Katy Perry like to say that she engaged in cultural appreciation, that her performance was harmless. Yet these stereotypes were not intended for celebration. While it's worth pointing out that a few of her prominent dancers were actually Asian themselves, many music awards tend to leave out Asian representation entirely. This continues to be a debate on whether this is offensive or not, but whether people should be offended by it doesn't matter. The fact that people are offended by it does, especially when it concerns a marginalized, living, breathing community. Katy Perry, being the expressively compassionate person that she is, had something to say on the matter, and I quote, "I will never understand some of those things because of who I am, but I can educate myself, and that's what I'm trying to do along the way." Whether people will be convinced by her statements or not, Katy continues to be in the spotlight, making herself vulnerable to a considerable amount of admiration and criticism. For me, I think Katy Perry at least knows and understands what it means to be swept under the rug and invisible, having grown up in a struggling financial situation and repressed artistic expression. She has ever since never sought to appropriate cultural clothing as of late, and has avoided mocking foreign accents, considering her silly personality. She continues to give joy to her youngest fans and lives up to the message in her music about being brave and courageous and accepting who you are despite what others think of you, and also continue to be an ally for others who are less fortunate and respected. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you're new to this channel, my name is Miguel. I'm an artist, and check out the other videos that you haven't seen yet if you haven't already. Look over here.